Before we deconstruct the brutal mathematical inefficiency of a traditional human recruiter and the exact architectural blueprint required to automate your professional ascent, I have exactly three critical questions for you to answer in the comments below. Number one, are you currently entrusting your career trajectory to a human headhunter, completely blind to the fact that they are a massive biological bottleneck operating on subjective bias and a 40-hour work week? Number two, do you understand the lethal structural difference between manually searching public job boards for leftover scraps and deploying an autonomous AI career agent to scrap the hidden direct employers market 24 hours a day? Number three, when a corporate enterprise deploys an autonomous AI screening system capable of processing 500 candidates a day, do you possess the silicon counterpart to negotiate with that machine? Or are you still relying on a human to pass along your PDF? Let me know your answer. For those who are new to the channel, I'm Dr. HR. I approach the global labor and capital market not with emotional, comforting advice, but as a cold, structural, algorithmic system. I hold a PhD in human resources, a master's from prestigious Tata Institute of Social Sciences, TISS in Mumbai, and a bachelor's in computer engineering. Operating on the ground here in Dubai since 2010, consulting for Tier 1 corporate entities, sovereign wealth funds, and apex tech founders across the Middle East and India, I monitor exactly how global talent acquires maximum leverage and how obsolete methodologies destroy executive value. The market does not reward you for waiting on a middleman. It rewards absolute, uncompromising algorithmic dominance. Relying on a human recruiter in 2026 isn't just old-fashioned, it is a professional suicide. These human gatekeepers are inefficient bottlenecks using outdated heuristics that mathematically miss the best opportunities in today's hyper-speed labor market. Stop letting human bias stall your career. Stop waiting for a phone call. It is time to fire the bottleneck and start deploying autonomous AI agent to secure high-leverage anti-fragile roles. Before I completely dismantle the illusion of an executive headhunter, expose the exact mechanics of a hidden job market, and give you the precise architectural blueprint to deploy your own 24/7 algorithmic advocate, hit the subscribe button and press the notification bell. I post daily videos showing you exactly how to navigate the global labor and capital market using cold, hard engineering logic. You do not want to miss these execution protocols. Stop waiting for permission. Start engineering your deployment. Grab a notebook. It is time to automate your career. Phase 1. The provocation reality check. The biological bottleneck. We must first diagnose the exact debilitating structural flaw of a traditional recruitment industry that is currently paralyzing top-tier executives across Bangalore, Silicon Valley, and the UAE mainland. For decades, the ultimate status symbol of a successful professional was having an executive headhunter on speed dial. You assumed this human middleman possessed a golden Rolodex, exclusive relationship with the CEOs, and the ability to seamlessly slide your resume onto the right desk. In June 2026, the data proves this model is a catastrophic mathematical failure. Let us run the raw physics of a biological bottleneck. A human recruiter works 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That is 40 hours of operational uptime. During those 40 hours, they are managing corporate clients, relationships, sending cold emails, taking coffee meetings, and sleeping. The cognitive bandwidth allows them to actively process and advocate for perhaps 15 candidates simultaneously. Worse, their judgment is entirely compromised by biological heuristics. They evaluate you based on arbitrary proxies, the university you attended, the logos of your last employer, or how charismatic you sounded on a 15 minutes introductory Zoom call. They suffer from fatigue. They miss nuanced technical overlaps. If your cross-domain skill stack is highly complex, the human recruiters will fail to understand it and will slot you into a generic, low-paying silo just to secure their 20% placement commission. You're trusting your highest leverage asset your cognitive future to a middleman whose incentives are aligned with transaction volume, not your personal sovereignty. We are witnessing a massive transition. The era of the middleman recruiter is officially over, replaced by the surgical efficiency of an AI career agent. Why gamble your future on someone else's limited network, their exhaustion, and their biases when you can deploy a 24 by 7 autonomous bot to bypass the gatekeepers entirely? Transition to an algorithmic job search today, or you will be left behind by the speed of a modern industry. Phase 2, the corporate automation surge, AI on the AI warfare. To understand why you must fire your recruiter, you must look at what the corporations are doing on the other side of the table. You are no longer applying to a human beings. In 2026, the global corporate grid has aggressively adopted autonomous hiring platforms. Market leaders, tier 1 banks, and global capability centers, the GCCs, are deploying the agentic AI systems that independently execute hiring workflows. These enterprise hours a week, they do not read the PDF, they run semantic natural language processing, the NLP, to analyze candidates for deep structural meaning rather than superficial keyword matching. They autonomously source from 200 million profiles, conduct conversational voice AI screening interviews, and manage 100 open roles simultaneously without a single drop in cognitive accuracy. If a corporation is using a supercomputer to hunt for talent, you cannot use a human recruiter to negotiate with it. You are bringing a biological knife to an algorithmic gunfight. To survive this ecosystem, you must engage in AI on AI warfare. You must deploy a personal AI career agent, a specialized autonomous platform such as Quizly, Jobby.io, or Hiring Agent on AI, designed to act as your permanent silicon advocate. When the corporate enterprise AI scans the global grid looking for a specific skill stack, your personal AI agent interfaces directly with it. Your agent speaks the exact JSON and the semantic vector language the enterprise systems require. It bypasses the human HR coordinator completely. Phase 3, the secret advantage, scrapping the hidden market. There is a hidden layer of a job market that human eye will never see, and your human recruiter is actively keeping you from it. The traditional job seeker logs onto LinkedIn or public job boards, scrolls through generic listing and applies. This is a commodity market. By the time a job is posted on public board, it is already saturated with 10,000 synthetic automated applications from desperate low-tier candidates. The sovereign architect does not compete in a commodity market, while human recruiters rely on gut feeling and their exhausted personal network. AI career agent use predictive data and algorithmic precision to scrape elite opportunities. Your personal AI agent operates on a continuous real-time background loop. It does not look at a public job board. It monitors direct employer's domain, private capital allocator, and highly specialized unindexed corporate subdomain. It tracks the exact moment a hyperscaler in DIFC secures a new round of funding and opens a localized stealth project. The AI agent evaluates these hidden roles against your proprietary profile using a predictive fit score before it ever submits an application. It runs a semantic match analysis to determine your mathematical probability of securing the interview. It identifies the exact gaps in your profile, instantly generates the ATS optimized artifact tailored precisely to the structural requirement of that specific stealth role, and submits it directly to the hiring manager digital perimeter. You're penetrating the hidden market at the scale. You're discovering opportunities that your human recruiters would never have access to because your agent processes global telemetry in milliseconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is the time to fire the bottleneck and automate your path to professional dominance. 2. The 24 by 7 representative. Imagine a hiring manager in San Francisco or an HR director in Abu Dhabi discovers your profile at 2 a.m. local time. They have a question about your architectural ability to integrate Oracle SCM with a custom RAG pipeline. If you rely on a human, that question waits until morning and the hiring manager moves on. If you deploy an AI career agent, You embed a deep talk or interaction link directly alongside your profile. The hiring manager clicks the links and engages in a real time, highly technical conversation with your AI agent. Your agent is trained on your exact verified work history, your published teardowns, and your structural logic. It answers the recruiter's question, defends your methodologies, and pitches your sovereignty perfectly at 2 a.m. while you're asleep. 3. Surgical output optimization. You never send the same resume twice. When your AI agent identifies a high leverage target, it does not just spam a generic PDF. It pulls from your database of cognitive artifacts, extract the exact metric relevant to that specific company's pain point, and synthesizes a perfectly aligned, hyper targeted digital asset in 2 minutes. You have achieved the output of an entire boutique headhunting agency, personalized exclusively to you, running at zero marginal cost. Phase 5. The India-UAE execution grid, the regional deployment. We must localize this massive macroeconomic shift to the highest growth, highest volatility economic corridor on the UAE and the India. This is where the human recruiter is failing the most aggressively and where the AI agents are yielding the highest biological premiums. The UAE Velocity Mandate. The United Arab Emirates, driven by the Dubai Economic Agenda, the D33, operates on a timeline of extreme execution velocity. Sovereign wealth funds, global real estate developers, and the massive influx of Web3 and AI startups setting up headquarters in the DIFC and ADGM do not have 6 months to execute an executive search. The traditional recruitment agencies in Dubai are notorious for high fee and slow turnaround. They rely on recycling the same exhausted pool of local expats. If you are a global professional targeting the tax-free, high-leverage capital of a UAE, you bypass these agencies entirely. Your AI career agent targets the stealth deployment teams of G42, Core42, and the major tech initiatives. It identifies the high-friction regulatory bottlenecks they are facing, dynamically generates an architectural solution based on your expertise, and interfaces directly with their autonomous screening software. You arrive in Dubai not as a candidate begging an agency for an interview, but as a mathematically verified solution that bypassed the entire bureaucratic layer. The Indian volume collapse. India is facing a catastrophic volume crisis. For every high-level executive or senior tech role posted at a global capability center GCC in Bangalore, Hyderabad, or Mumbai, the ATS receives 300,000 synthetic applications. Human recruiters in India have completely surrendered to the volume. They cannot read the resume, they rely entirely on a primitive keyword filters, meaning a brilliant cross-disciplinary Indian operators are systematically ignored because their resumes do not match the exact generic template the human recruiters understand. The Indian operators must deploy the AI career agent to break out this commodity trap. You instruct your agent to ignore the massive public job boards. You deploy it to monitor direct employer signals, agency-led stealth roles, and executive contracts positions. Your agent ensures that your application perfectly mirrors the semantic intent of a GCC's autonomous hiring software. You skip the 300,000 person queue by speaking the language of the machine evaluating you. Phase 6. The Sovereign Pivot Protocol, Execution, the Automation. We have diagnosed the biological bottleneck, exposed the secret advantage of hidden market, mapped the AI on AI warfare, and decoded the regional arbitrage. The final phase is your immediate execution blueprint. How do you physically execute this transition today? You must deploy the Sovereign Pivot Protocol. Step 1. Terminate the middleman. Liquidate your reliance on third-party human advocates. Sever the exclusive contracts with external headhunters who are treating you as mere commodity in their pipeline. Take absolute ownership of your professional distribution. Step 2. Construct the data lake. Before you activate your AI career agent, you must feed it to unfakeable data. Do not just upload a traditional resume, you must build your own proof of work ledger. Upload your architectural diagrams, your sanitized financial models, your GitHub repositories, and your value stream mapping cases studies. The AI agent need deep structural telemetry to represent you accurately. If you feed it a generic buzzword, it will act like a generic bot. Feed it a high-friction reality. Step 3. Define the acquisition parameters. Do not authorize your agent to apply to 100,000 jobs on autopilot. That is the behavior of a desperate amateur. You set ruthless parameter. You instruct the agent, monitor the MEA and APAC grid strictly for senior director roles involving LLM integrations and cross-border regulatory compliance. Minimum salary threshold, $200,000 or equivalent equity. Only alert me to a direct employer roles with a semantic math score above 92%. You treat the agent as a highly disciplined sniper, not a machine gun. Step 4. Execute the biological closer. Your AI agent does the hunting, the scrapping, the semantic matching, and the initial interview scheduling. It gets you past the algorithmic gatekeepers and into the final boardroom. This is where your biology takes over and the AI secures the meeting. Your human friction secures the contract. You step into the room, deploy your unautomatable human ego management, execute the negotiations, and finalize the transition. Look closely at your career trajectory. If you are waiting for a human being to discover your talent, recognize your worth, and hand you an opportunity, you are participating in a system that mathematically guarantees your stagnation. The 2026 automated economy does not care about your patience. It respects velocity. Fire the recruiter. Liquidate the bottleneck. Deploy the AI carrier agent. Automate your outreach. Scrape the hidden market. And force the global economy to pay you the absolute premium for your unautomatable, structural, perfect, cognitive dominance. Process the data, execute the strategy, and I will see you at the top.